It's John here, and again we're going to go and continue through the League One fixtures, and we're going to continue with Shrewsbury Town. Now, well, this Shrewsbury Town, they start away from home. They start with Stevenage, so they're going to a club that was doing rather well last season and only just missed out on the promotion places. So that'll be an interesting League One fixture. They then go to they're at home to Peterborough United. So they start with Stevenage, Shrewsbury, Peterborough, and they have a tough one at Huddersfield, Shrewsbury, and then Shrewsbury Town, Leyton Orient. So August is actually not too bad. It's a nice mix. I think keep saying there's nice mixes around. That's probably one of them. But that end to August does actually continue into September with a difficult trip to Wrexham, so Wrexham, Shrewsbury, and then another hard game, Shrewsbury Town versus Charlton Athletic on the 14th of September. So they do have a bit of a hard period. Mansfield Town, Shrewsbury, and then Shrewsbury Rotherham United. So I'd say the end of August and through September, it has a few difficult games there. So although there's one or two League One games in the middle of it, there's a few Championship class teams coming in there at the same time. So October we've got Shrewsbury, Stockport, Bolton Wanderers, Shrewsbury, Crawley Town, Shrewsbury, Exeter, and Bristol Rovers, Shrewsbury Town. Get that one out in a tongue twister. And in November we go into Burton Albion, Shrewsbury, Reading, Shrewsbury, and Shrewsbury Birmingham. They'd probably be quite happy with that. I think that's a decent set of fixtures so far. And after you've been to Birmingham, what do you want to do for December? Well, Shrewsbury Town, Blackpool, perhaps a difficult game there. Cambridge, Shrewsbury, Wickham, Wigan Athletic versus Shrewsbury and Shrewsbury Lincoln. We're seeing a couple of possible banana skins in there, but it's not too bad. Where are they actually travelling? So Shrewsbury are, and they finish with Shrewsbury Town, Northampton on the 29th. So they're at home 4 times. They're away twice, Cambridge United and Wigan. I don't think the fans will be too disappointed with December. January, we start with Blackpool, Shrewsbury, Leyton Orient, Shrewsbury, Huddersfield. Oh, that gives them a difficult one. And they then go to an unknown Shrewsbury, Wrexham. Then they have Charlton Athletic, Shrewsbury. So we're getting a little bit difficult now. And then Stockport, Shrewsbury, which of course is a little bit of an unknown. So that's probably a month of slightly more difficult games there. February, Shrewsbury Town versus Mansfield, Rotherham, Shrewsbury, Bolton, and Shrewsbury Stevenage, which I think is not too bad. It's a little bit, it's slightly more difficult than the average month would be, but it's not too bad. March, Peterborough, Shrewsbury, Bristol, Exeter, Shrewsbury, Burton Albion, and Shrewsbury Reading. That's a really good mix. Really, really good mix. How do they end the season? For the Shrews, we go to Wycombe Wanderers, Shrewsbury, and we say Shrewsbury, Cambridge, Lincoln, Shrewsbury, Wigan Athletic, and then a nice League One fixture, Northampton, Shrewsbury. So it's a decent run into the end of the season, and actually what could be a reasonable League One fixture to finish in May, Shrewsbury Town versus Crawley. I think on the whole, that's quite a good mix. There's a couple of little bits where the banana skins are probably quite close together, and those possibly Championship style football teams are going to be coming 1 or 2 at a time. So yeah, on the whole, pretty good December. I think on the whole, as a Shrewsbury fan, you should be quite happy with that. So let's continue. We're going to continue with Stevenage. We go back to August. Stevenage are at home to Shrewsbury Town, as we just said earlier. And then it's away. We're going to go Huddersfield Town versus Stevenage. Put them in quite at the quite early on, and it's away, so it's quite a difficult trip there. Burton Albion versus Stevenage. They're doing a bit of team building at the minute. And Stevenage versus Lincoln, and Lincoln finished quite well last season, so it's going to be a possible couple of banana skins for a team that have come up that did quite well last season and nearly went into those playoff places. On the whole, decent mix, I should say. And we go into September, and we have Wigan Stevenage, Stevenage Barnsley. There's a couple of difficult ones there. Exeter Stevenage and Stevenage Charlton. So that is actually quite difficult. That's a little bit of a difficult month in September. And we go into October, and it's Stevenage Wrexham, unknown. Peterborough Stevenage, Stevenage Bolton, and Mansfield Stevenage, Stevenage Cambridge, Rotherham United Stevenage. We see, where are we? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games. They're away 3 times at Peterborough, Mansfield, and Rotherham. It's a tough month because they're at home to Wrexham, Bolton, and Cambridge United. So it's quite a tough month. Yeah, there's a couple of games in there that they might feel more happier with, more sort of a League One style club, but we'll see. We can only see. And we then go to November, short month with Stevenage Reading, Birmingham Stevenage, and then Stevenage Leyton Orient. I think they'd actually be reasonably happy that they've got Birmingham away quite quickly. That's out the way. It's in the middle of 2 League One fixtures, although Reading could be quite difficult. And if they start taking on the players they're wanting to, yeah, it could be quite a tough 2 games out of 3 there. We go into December, and we start with Stevenage Northampton, Crawley Stevenage, Stevenage Stockport, Blackpool Stevenage on the 21st. Quite a journey that. And then Stevenage Wickham on Boxing Day, and they finished the year with Stevenage Bristol Rovers. It's a decent mix, actually. That's actually a good mix for December. The away games, Crawley and Blackpool, that's a little bit of a... Crawley's not too bad. Blackpool's a bit far. And I actually imagine that the fans will be happy that they've got 4 home games in December. And they finish on the 26th and the 29th, both at home. So technically, home and away games, Stevenage fans will be happy. Mix-wise, Stevenage fans will be happy. The only difficult one, I think, there is Blackpool's a bit of a trip, but apart from that, I think they'll be quite chuffed with December. January, Northampton Town versus Stevenage, Lincoln Stevenage, Stevenage Burton, Stevenage Wigan, Barnsley Stevenage, and Wrexham Stevenage. So the second half of January is a bit tough there. What do we start with in February? Well, February mixes it up a little bit. Stevenage Exeter, but then it's Charlton Stevenage, so that's another difficult game. Then they have Stevenage Peterborough, so it's going to be a difficult game, but they are at home. And then Shrewsbury Town Stevenage, so they do have a little bit of a mix. It's quite difficult February, but a bit of a mix. March we go Stevenage Huddersfield, follow that difficult game with a trip to Cambridge, Cambridge Stevenage, Stevenage Mansfield, possible difficult game, Reading Stevenage, and then Stevenage Birmingham, and then Leyton Orient Stevenage. A really nice mix there. It's just putting a couple of teams around a League One standard around those really difficult games, because believe me, it will be difficult at Birmingham whether we think it's not going to be or not. So we start with April. On April Fool's Day, Stockport versus Stevenage, Stevenage Crawley, Wickham Stevenage, Stevenage Blackpool. So there's a couple of banana skins there. Bristol Rovers, Stevenage, and Stevenage Rotherham. So we've finished April with a game against Rotherham, and we'll go into the last game of the season, Bolton Wanderers, Stevenage. Those last two games are not very good, are they? Was the Rotherham game? So they're at home to Rotherham and then away to Bolton Wanderers. It's not going to be easy, is it? And they almost end the season by playing their old boss at Rotherham, and at Rotherham. So it's at home, isn't it? So they're playing at home. Yeah, they're playing at home against their old boss, who manages Rotherham. Again, it's one of those. That's random, isn't it? Not. Oh, they didn't say that. So yeah, there's on the whole there's a good mix, but they appear to be just. I mean, that Rotherham game right near the end is just weird, isn't it? You lose your manager to a club, and they nearly put them right on the end of the season, nearly on the last game, but they put Bolton in there instead. So on the whole, I think Stockport Stevenage fans will be quite happy with that. Decent mix throughout the year. And so end this particular video of 3 with a trip to Stockport County. And we have Stockport County starting with Cambridge. Nice League One game there. And they then go to Blackpool. Blackpool versus Stockport County. It's a nice August summer game in Blackpool. What else could they want, eh? Stockport County versus Bristol. Mansfield versus Stockport County. Nice set of games. Possibly a difficult game against Blackpool, and it's away. But hey, it's surrounded by good League One games there. Into September, Stockport Reading, Crawley Stockport, Stockport Leyton Orient, and Barnsley Stockport. So that's actually a really good mix. Really is a good mix. October, we're into one of those 6-game months. Shrewsbury Stockport, Stockport Wigan. Okay, a difficult game there. Stockport Wycombe Wanderers, which could be quite difficult. Followed by Charlton Stockport, which is more the way they've been recruiting, could be quite a difficult game. Stockport Northampton Town, and then Lincoln Stockport. So it is a good mix. Probably 3 games there, 2 at home, 1 away, that they might find are going to be a little bit difficult. And they go to 3-game November, and it's Stockport Bolton Wanderers. Ooh, a difficult game. And then Stockport Wrexham. It is at home, but it could be a sticky wicket, that one. We don't know how they're going to be playing. And Burton Albion versus Stockport. So that's quite a difficult month. And it doesn't really start. December doesn't really start that great either. It's Birmingham City versus Stockport. And then it's Stockport Exeter, Stevenage Stockport, Stockport Peterborough. So 21st is going to be a difficult game. On the 26th, it's Huddersfield Town versus Stockport, and that is quite some game to have on a Boxing Day. And then it's Rotherham United versus Stockport. I mean, to go away to Huddersfield on Boxing Day, and then 29th of December to go away to Rotherham United is pretty. What a pair of games to have there. That is quite nasty. And the beginning opens with the Birmingham City versus Stockport. So they haven't even got any of those three at home. They're all away. It's going to be a bit of a tough December, I think. And 4 of those games are away. Birmingham, Stevenage, Huddersfield, and Rotherham. Ouch. So that is going to be difficult. And they've all the Exeter City is at home, so at least that's not too much travelling there. January, we see the return leg for the Birmingham. So straight away, you're going to Stockport, Birmingham, and then that's straight after the Rotherham game, isn't it? So they've gone Huddersfield, Rotherham, and then Birmingham. It's absolutely insane. Stockport County, Mansfield, Bristol Rovers, Stockport, Reading, Stockport, Stockport Crawley and Stockport Shrewsbury. So we start getting a couple of easier ones near the end of January, but December and the beginning of January, first game in January, are quite horrendous. Into February, Leighton Orient, Stockport, Stockport Barnsley. Then we have the Wigan Stockport. That's another difficult, possibly, and then Cambridge Stockport. So a decent mix, a couple of banana skins possibly there. Another difficult month is March, and it's strange because it's Stockport Blackpool. Obviously, that can be difficult. Northampton, Stockport, Stockport Charlton. They are recruiting quite well. That could be very difficult. Bolton Wanderers, Stockport. Bolton are always capable of putting up a really difficult game. Wrexham, Stockport, and again, we don't know how they're going to play. That could be difficult. And then Stockport versus Burton Albion. So how do they finish the year in April? Stockport Stevenage, Exeter Stockport, Stockport Rotherham, Peterborough Stockport, and then Stockport Huddersfield. So that's 3 in a row: Rotherham, Peterborough, Huddersfield. That's actually quite difficult. That's a difficult 3, and but 2 of them are at home, so they may be thinking they can just put a really good defence up here and just don't let them score, and it may work. Stockport Lincoln is the final game there, and how do they finish the year? In May, it's Wycombe Wanderers versus Stockport. It is actually this is one of those fixtures that just the fans are going to have a really good games to watch in December, but unfortunately, a lot of them are the Birmingham, the Rotherham, the Huddersfield. They're the ones in the top who should be and are expecting to be in the top half, probably in the top 6, and they're going to be difficult to play. And although they're going to be good matches to watch, they're going to be ones that Stockport really wanted to have spread out a little bit more, like 1 or 2 of the others that we've already looked at. So Stockport County's fixtures, not what I think the Stockport fans would have wanted. However, there are periods where you've got good League One opposition in big chunks, and they're the ones that Stockport fans are going to have to think we need to consolidate in those months and start to just make sure we can consolidate our place in League One and hopefully do something in these difficult periods like the Christmas period. So thank you, and do remember, watch-alongs are coming around the corner. Like, subscribe, click the bell. When the watch-alongs come along, then you'll be notified, and I hope to see you at the beginning of League One. Thank you very much.